Hi, my name is Ben Baldwin and welcome to training video number 6.0, Mentoring Discussions. This training video will be it'll be an overview of what the mentoring discussions are. And these videos will be from all the mentoring discussion videos 6.0 and to the rest of the 6 points. Are a little bit different than the preceding videos, with the possible exception of this video, of course. These videos are designed with you in mind as the audience, rather than teaching you how to teach someone else. So this series will just be teaching you. Now this video is slightly different because we're going to talk about the mentoring discussions and talk about how you set them up and have them with people. Our objectives today are to learn why the mentoring discussions are important, learn how to hold mentoring discussions, and in this video we're going to go through those. Basically we're going to talk about who should mentor who, what is mentoring, when you should mentor, where you can mentor, what materials you need for a mentoring discussion, what topics you would cover in an ongoing mentoring discussions, and how to set up that arrangement with someone when you've decided you want to mentor someone, or when someone has asked for you to support them in that way. So in terms of the learning and membership continuum, we are at the very end here. This is when someone is really involved in doTERRA and wants to share it with someone else and do it as a business. So they're serious. This is when you either invite people to have a mentoring discussion with you, or they have approached you and requested help building a doTERRA business. So we'll show you in this video how to do that, and we'll outline what the contents of those discussions will be. And the rest of the videos that proceed forth are basically us giving those mentoring discussions to you. So you remember when we reviewed the build and lead sections of the Share Essential Oil booklet? What we covered in all the previous videos up to now are the Share 6 discussions and classes: intro, membership maximization, wellness product classes, share discussion, business opportunity discussion, and this is the mentoring discussion. We've reviewed those videos, and what is going to happen now is we are going to talk about the preparation part of that. Why doTERRA, talk about focusing and inspire, finding your why for doing the business. We'll talk about the compensation plan, talk about strategy, how to place people on your team, business activities, teaching tips, personal development, and expanding your content. These are the business skills you need to build your doTERRA business. These are the preparation topics, if you will. We'll review these in detail in the following videos, and you are the subject. You are the audience for those videos. There are a variety of topics that you could discuss with someone. We find that these topics are the foundation of what people need. And of course, in the mentoring discussions, you also talk about the progress of the business itself as your growing volume and whatever. There are 3 pages in the Share Essential Oil booklet that we'll refer to in the mentoring discussion, specifically in the initial mentoring discussion. The first of these pages is found on page 23 of the Share Essential Oil booklet. This guide will talk, this is basically a checklist, and it will guide you as you talk to others about receiving mentoring from you, or even if maybe you're getting mentoring. There's no particular skill or rank that's required for you to mentor someone else. It's just you helping someone else. You can even preface your invitation by explaining that, you know what, we'll just learn together. All right, the second page that we'll talk about is page 24 of the Share Essential Oil booklet. It's a checklist for you to keep track of those people you're mentoring as they are building their business. So as you work with them, jot down, there's an example there. You can see, you can make checklists. You don't have to be tied to these tools. These are just ideas. The principles are the same. You can make a spreadsheet and keep track of a spreadsheet on your computer with people's names on it and write in the date of when they enroll someone, when they know how to do this, when they've learned this, when they've done this for the first time, that sort of thing. So you can keep track of their progress. But here's an example for you. All right, the next page that we're going to talk about is actually at the back of the Share Essential Oil booklet, back cover. Track my progress. This is for you. This is for you and for the person that you're mentoring to keep track of your progress as you go through the learning about how to do doTERRA as a business. Tick off the principles that you learn, tick off the things that you do, the preparation steps that you take, write down what sort of personal development works you are reading, and as you teach a learn discussion, you invite people, as you teach the discussions, tick them off. And you'll find that your confidence will grow as you keep track of those things and tick them off. So keep track of your own progress. If you haven't received mentoring yourself, put yourself at the top of the list and mentor yourself as much as that it can be helpful for you. There are lots of people you can reach out to get assistance. You can check out who is in your upline in doTERRA and ask them your questions. Just bombard them with questions. Most of them will be happy to help. Okay, let's go back to the first of these booklets. This is the mentoring discussion checklist on page 23, and we're going to talk about the basics of who, what, when, where, why, how. First, we're going to discuss is who. Okay, the person who you will have these discussions with is the mentee. Choose your mentee wisely. It is you who invites them. They should be people who keep their commitments. As a rule of thumb, work with those who move towards you. If they're coming to you for help, if they're keeping their commitments, that means they're moving towards you. It doesn't matter if they're in a great place in your team. Build them. Things will work out for your team. You shouldn't have to chase someone down to mentor them. They should be coming to you. In most cases, they do come to you for assistance, and that means that they are a good candidate for mentoring. If they have the desire, the rest can be learned. You are the mentor, the one with a greater experience. Everyone has some level of experience in some way or not another, and you can mentor someone else in that way. You will know when the time is right. One good indication of when the time is right is when people start asking you questions about how to do this and that, and asking you for help. So just set up an arrangement to mentor them, even if it's informally. Many find that when they reach the rank of silver in doTERRA, they are already mentoring and helping others. However, every situation is different, so adapt it to your own situation. Second, what we'll talk about is what mentoring is. So we've talked, maybe we should have discussed this first, but mentoring is basically when providing leadership and direction, tracking and accountability, and tools and support. So we're going to talk about these one at a time. So mentoring is providing leadership and direction. Sometimes a mentee just needs someone to tell them what to do. They've come into it, they don't know where to start, it's all new and fresh to them. They just need someone to point them in the right direction, give them some advice. And of course, we always go to someone that appears to have the answers, someone who is there. They just want to be told something, to be given some direction. They will look for someone who has become who they want to be, who has arrived where they want to be, who has done what they want to do. So give yourself a credit for the accomplishments, things that you have accomplished, and help pass on some of that wisdom. Mentoring is also providing tracking and accountability. Track the performance of those people you mentor. A wise man once said, "When performance is measured, performance improves." I learned this principle in business school. It's true. Just simply by measuring people's performance, it improves their performance. When performance, he goes on to say, when performance is measured and reported, the rate of improvement accelerates. So being accountable to someone helps make their goal real, helps make the task real. Mentoring discussions provide that vehicle for accountability, and the mentor holds the mentee accountable for tasks, goals, and commitments. That doesn't mean the mentee has to get really the mentor has to get really disappointed when the mentee is not keeping his or her commitments, but the fact that the mentee is reporting to the mentor and asking for help, the disappointment or the encouragement, the love and support is there, and the fact that you're recording it somewhere, keeping track of it, helps. Just psychologically, it's a proven fact in business. The last is tools and support. Mentoring is about providing the tools that are needed and support that's necessary. Because the mentor has been down the path before, he or she can provide valuable advice and support, even supply the mentee with the tools and training needed to do their job, or at least point them in the right direction where to get those tools. Mentoring provides emotional and psychological support. For instance, an example of this is, when times get tough and you're like, oh, I had a class and 10 people came, but no one joined. You know what? Maybe you just need some encouragement. Say, wow, you had a class with 10 people. That's really fantastic. We are going to get all those 10 people to join, and we are going to figure out if there's anything that we can do to improve the situation. It's about friends helping friends. Now, let's talk about when you should mentor. Typically, when you decide to mentor someone depends greatly upon when the person is ready and when you are ready. Either they will present themselves for mentoring, and they'll be presentable. They're keeping their commitments and everything, because there are a lot of people that say, oh, I want to do this, I want to do this, but they don't do anything about it. So they kind of self-select themselves by keeping their commitments. Or you see them keeping commitments. You see them building and doing activities where it seems like they're growing in some way, and they're building their organization just naturally. And then you want to maybe invite them, talk to them about what you're willing to offer them in terms of support and encouragement, and offer to mentor them. Tell them about what mentoring is, and offer to do it. So it's an invitation. So once you've set up a mentoring agreement, you'll want to meet once a week, or more or less according to your situation and circumstances. Now, when it comes to where to mentor, you could do it anywhere. A lot of our mentoring is done through Skype or Hangouts or FaceTime or Zoom or through all those different channels on the phone, sometimes by email. It's best if you can meet with a person in a home, coffee shop, cafe, or in virtual reality, wherever. Refuse to let distance be an excuse. You can mentor. We all the time, like I say, mentor all people all over the world. So all you need is a bit of technology, and that's pretty easy to come by these days. The materials needed are basically the tools, business tools. Your learn, use, and share documents, tracking sheets, other documents. So you want to maybe have them email you. You email them about commitments they've made. They email you about things that they need to do to prepare for that. Okay. All right. So the rest of this is we're going to talk about the checklist. What sort of things you need to talk about when you have these ongoing mentoring meetings after you've had this kind of initial arrangement set up. So when it comes to the checklist itself, there are some basic things you want to cover in your discussions. Make sure that you take time in any of these discussions to build a relationship. And this is about friends helping friends. As discussed, a part of the mentoring is tracking or holding the mentee accountable. Ask questions that gauge where the mentee is up to and in progress. record it down in your tracking table. Let them know that you'll be taking notes, and you can even show. Sometimes I share a screen with someone. I can show them what notes I'm taking on them and what they're promising to do. Often I'll send them an email after we've had a session saying, this is what we talked about, this is what we discussed, this is what you promised to do, this is what I promised to do for you. So give them some instruction. And this will be where we're taking them through those various preparation lessons in the Share Essential Oil booklet, like helping them find establish, detect their why, helping them, understand the compensation plan, etc. Make sure they are developing themselves personally. So talk about things that you're reading, if they're reading personal development books. Hold them accountable. Say something like, okay, you gave me your word that you will have this done by next week. I'm going to ask you about this next week when we meet up again. Now, if they fail to get it done, you can discuss it with them, change the arrangement, and give them another task, another assignment. Something we often call it an assignment. And celebrate their success. Big or small, celebrate their success. So if it's a big success, celebrate it in a big way. Now, if you're wondering kind of what numbers to discuss, you do want to go over some specifics. Like for instance, if you see someone that's holding a lot of classes regularly, but's not enrolling someone, you see that there's a problem there that you need to address. If you see someone that's holding a lot of introduction classes but no maximized membership meetings, they're not following up on their people. So you need to go in there and ask about these numbers. Have people report about it, and you'll be able to spot trends and stuff. Okay, so just keep track of they'll be able, as you go through these mentoring discussions with them, they'll keep track of their progress on the back of their Share Essential Oil booklet, or maybe they have a spreadsheet or whatever, and then you would also keep track of how they're going and how they're doing. Okay, so let's talk about a little bit more about who and you, and whether you're ready to mentor. Let's ask the question, are you ready to mentor someone? It's a commitment. It takes time. So do you have time weekly and a bit of preparation time before meeting with someone to do the job properly? Perhaps you can identify someone who needs mentoring, and maybe you're not the best person to mentor them. Maybe you can look on the upline, or put them in touch with someone else that can mentor them. So just because someone needs mentoring doesn't mean that you have to do it for them. They might actually jive better with personality with someone else. The next is you want to decide who you'll mentor. As we discussed this a little bit before, but let's assume that you feel like you're ready to mentor. You want to help someone grow. Who do you decide is a choice of how you are using your precious commitment of time. As your mentee, ask your mentee if they are prepared to set aside some time to meet with you. Are they prepared to set goals and consistently work toward them? Get numbers from them. How many hours do they expect to work in their doTERRA business in a week? It takes a few hours on a regular basis. So if they can't commit, on a regular basis, a certain number of hours each week, then it's not going to go anywhere. They won't be able to keep their commitments. So they will need to commit a minimum amount of time, and they'll have to commit to do a minimum, and they'll be able to see how valuable they think this is and what priority it takes in their life. Okay? So when you have established that someone's ready and willing, and you are as well, everybody's excited, take time to set some ground rules and expectations. Network marketing is about duplication. Your business, to grow your business, you need to duplicate yourself. Make it clear to your mentee that you do not intend to work for them or run their business for them. Your goal is to support them. Basically, you're there to help them become self-reliant so that they can start supporting others. they must understand that their main goal is to they must understand that your main goal is to help them become you. Basically, you're trying to duplicate yourself. It needs to be an understanding, and you're not going to jump in there and manage their business and help them and them know where to place people all the time. They need to develop that. So the mentee, you want to talk to your mentee about how they'll respond to that and what they're prepared to do. All right. Also, beforehand, you want to take care of problems before they arise. Things will go wrong. Hard times will come. Talk to your mentee beforehand about possible hardships that will happen. Building a pipeline or a business is not for the future is not an easy thing. There will be times when things get difficult. That happens to everyone. So discuss beforehand how you want to handle that. Whether it's giving them some time, whether it's giving them lots of encouragement and love. Discussing it up front will help that out. This comes from a book by Jim Rohn about being a network marketing professional. Finally, make participation conditional upon it being a priority for them. If they miss 3 or more of their meetings with you, they need to understand that someone else can be benefiting from your time, and you can revisit your arrangement with them in the future when they maybe have more time, or they can give it a higher priority in their life, or whatever turmoil has arisen in their life passes. Now, the best way to arrange a mentoring agreement is in writing. Written agreements help all parties know what is expected. This is a sample of a written agreement that states the mentee's obligations, the mentor's obligations, the obligations that both parties have. Such agreement should put the responsibility of providing the support on the mentor, but the responsibility of progression on the mentee. Now, once that agreement's in place, set regular meetings to discuss progress and provide training. Each time you meet with your mentee, you'll cover the areas of training from the Share Essential Oil booklets, and that's what the further videos will be on in our mentoring discussions moving forward. So that's basically it for the mentoring discussions, and now we hope to get into those. So hopefully you understand now what they are and why they're important, and you know how to hold an initial mentoring discussion with someone and set up that mentoring relationship. And we hope that you will join us for these mentoring discussions with you in our next video, 6.1, Why doTERRA, your opportunity in doTERRA. So thank you very much for